Don't testing only mic audio because you entered a block scene.
Oh, okay.
New notification.
Okay, guys, I just want to say that, on my previous video, when I was actually playing and I have not played the game, like, probably I would say in, like online consistently for like maybe a few months now. And, I just want to say that, I was saying in one of my videos that I got double perfected by a guy that was just basically playing Ryu and trying to jab and grab me, and there's no way in hell in real life, like if I was playing offline, that I would ever lose to a guy that just relied on trying to jab and grab me. There's no way. It's not humanly possible to beat a guy like me that's been playing Street Fighter ever since I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I did say that I was high, and like I said, although it was true at the time, you know what I mean? I don't condone it, because not only because I don't want my, nephew or, niece to, think that that's like the right thing to do or anything like that, or anyone else, you know what I'm saying? I have a close friend, childhood friend, that actually overdosed from stuff like that, from doing stuff like that. And I know two other people that I used to work with that actually ended up passing because of stuff like that. So like, I don't want to condone. I did at the time. When I did the video, that was not an excuse. That like I legitimately was. And, I relapsed because I had stopped for like maybe, I felt like it was like a while since my friend passed. But when my friend passed, that's basically when I had like stopped altogether, and I got real, religious and spiritual at the time, because, he was a real dear friend of mine. I'm at the point where, I love fighting games. And before fighting games were actually making people, giving people life-changing money where they could buy houses and stuff, I was a fan, and I was grinding online and really trying to prove I was the best, like, online player. You know what I'm saying? And it had nothing to do with the money. I just genuinely wanted to be the best. And that was enough for me. But unfortunately, I'm at a point where, logically, I don't know if I could continue spending my money on video games and consoles and online memberships for PlayStation. Although I love PlayStation, especially because, people had waited for me to go to sleep and snuck into my house, you know what I'm saying, and wrote on my eye with a magic marker. So it really held me back from being able to compete, the way I really want to. This entire time, my entire YouTube channel, when it comes to like Street Fighter and Tekken and Mortal Kombat, I was legitimately playing like with one eye the entire time. So if you were struggling to beat me, or you think you're like really good at fighting games and you were getting beat by me, or struggling to beat me and bragging about beating me, I was legitimately playing with one eye the entire time. My entire YouTube channel is videos of me, like, even still perfecting guys and getting double perfects and with one eye. Like, if you don't believe me, if you think Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat are like hard fight and Tekken are hard fighting games to compete at the highest level, close one of your eyes while you're playing and tell me it's not even harder than that. It's already difficult because a game like Street Fighter is lightning fast. If you blink, you already missed a chapter of information after you blink. So, picture doing that. Picture being able to I felt like, when they initially dropped hyper fighting, I did not have an Xbox at the time. My friend had it, and he actually got it because he knew he knew at the time I was only playing, you know, fighting games on a PlayStation. Back when everyone had an Xbox 360 and a PlayStation 3, I was still on a PlayStation 2 playing the I think it was the 20-year or 25-year anniversary of Hyper Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 3. I was like, that was the only game I really had and the only game I played. And it was mainly for Third Strike because I was just such a fan of the art style. I felt like the characters finally looked as if they had matured and grown up, but they were still similar to what they were from the past. But like, I felt like the drawings of Ken and Ryu and Chun-Li were the ways that the artists actually wanted them to look like in the first place. But when the game originally came out, you know, graphically there was limitations and stuff like that. But I just thought Third Strike was the most beautiful Street Fighter of all time. Not only gameplay wise, but I felt like it was the most balanced Street Fighter of all time because of, you know, I personally don't believe parrying should be in a fighting game at all. Other than maybe like the Goken style parry where you have to input an actual special move motion to activate it, which takes way more talent. I personally still don't agree with parrying should be in a fighting game, especially one as simple as Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? I've said that from the very beginning. When I found out that parrying was in Street Fighter 6, I already knew it was going to, you know, it was not going to be like what I had envisioned it to be. You know what I'm saying? I still think Third Strike Street Fighter 3 is the pinnacle of Street Fighter, and I don't think it's ever, in my personal opinion, I don't think it's ever been better than that. I felt like the way the game flowed and the way the game played was exactly the way it should have been. It was obviously way harder than like Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 6. The game has progressively gotten easier to do like special moves and super motions. And in all honesty, I love that they did that because, believe it or not, doing like crouching light kick, super with Ryu was not the easiest thing to do, especially online. So like where I could do it 9 times out of 10 offline, if I do it online, it comes out like 4 times out of 10 or 6 times out of 10. And like, that means the entire match at the highest level, if you don't land that one opportunity with the crouching light kick, level 1 super with Ryu, or crouching light kick, Shin Shoryuken super with Ryu, if you don't land it at that very brief moment, like when you're playing online, the motions just don't get recognized. It's not Capcom's fault. It's just what happens when you play online with every online game. So it's not just Street Fighter, but you know, that means everything. That means everything. You know, as a guy that's very competitive and does not want to lose and has dominated, you know, I felt like my prime was probably during that Third Strike Online edition generation where I just lived and breathed it, and it was the only thing that mattered to me. And I felt like no player could compete with me in Third Strike. There was like legitimately only one Ken player that I would go toe to toe with. Like it was like, you know, a legendary, you know, like when you watch a legendary match between two professional, you know, that they train their whole life and then they finally, you know, like for example, like Mayweather and Pacquiao, where it's like no one's getting, you know, knocked down, no one's getting, you know, no one's losing, you know, it just goes the distance and hopefully, you know, the best man wins. Hopefully it was me, you know what I'm saying? But I dominated the top 10 in Third Strike Online Edition. I felt like in Street Fighter 4, I wouldn't necessarily say I dominated the Street Fighter 4, but I mean, my win percentage when I was taking Street Fighter 4 series was pretty good. I thought I was doing pretty damn good with Sakura and Ryu, and Ken as well. And Street Fighter V, when I switched to Laura, even though I felt like she was still not an amazing character on the tier list, like in theory, I felt like she had what it takes to win, but she was nowhere near like the best character in the game. Like, I still felt like Ryu and Sagat were like top tier. Sakura, another character, top tier. You know, and I was right. I called it. Sakura won the Japanese Evolution tournament. I said Sakura's easily one of the best characters in the game. No one really believed me. No one really, you know, and she won the Japanese Evolution tournament. I said Sagat was the best character in Street Fighter V. He won the Evolution tournament here in the United States. I said that Blanca, you know, Blanca early on, Meta RD won with Blanca. Because I felt like he was the only character that could truly get a legitimate crossover. And I felt like that beginner and intermediate level of players consistently gets exploited by that crossover. Especially by a player like me that knows when to utilize it and when to really use its effectiveness. You know what I'm saying? And there's not too many players that can say that I did not dominate them with Blanca. And I showed them the true power of Blanca. Whereas everything I said about him was true. Like, never use a command grab with Blanca or any other character unless you know for a fact it's going to land. Because all you got to do is backdash and you're going to get a full counter hit combo on you. And all it takes is a few of those to lose a round. It takes like, I think about 3, if I'm not mistaken, to lose a round, maybe 4, depending on the character and how much meter they use. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it was, you know, I didn't even want to win the Street Fighter tournament like for money. I wanted to win it just for the bragging rights, because I felt like I was such a longtime fan and a dominant player. And like, you know, I felt like me and a handful of guys like nationwide and worldwide were legitimately fans of Street Fighter. And like, when they announced, oh, like there's life-changing money in it, like in my head, I was like, oh my God, like this is a sign from God. Like the only game that I ever played and ever put so much time into, you know, even though it was such a simple fighting game in comparison to Tekken and Mortal Kombat, you know, there's no combos like Tekken and Mortal Kombat have, where it's like high and low pressure game, you know, where it makes a fighting game, like, in my opinion, it makes a fighting game complete to have that. There has to be a fear of high and low that you have to respect and block. And that's why I feel like Street Fighter, in my opinion, because it does not have that, and games like Fatal Fury and King of Fighters and Samurai Showdown, in my opinion, is the best SNK Play More game of all time. I've said it time and time again. I would love to play Justin Wong in Samurai Showdown for the PlayStation 4. You know, I thought even the originals, you know, the original hand-drawn, I mean, they're still hand-drawn, but, you know, the original sprites, you know, in my opinion, are still like some of the most beautiful artwork in fighting games, man. And the character design for SNK Playmore is really good. It really is, man. But the point I'm trying to make is that, like, you know, the channel's not really working out for me, and I just can't justify sinking so much money into it. If like, it's not that I don't want to do it, it's just as I'm getting older, you know what I'm saying, I just can't justify sinking all my money into something that is not really getting me anywhere. And although I'm a fan, and although I love it, and I'll probably never stop playing until, you know, I pass from this world into the next, you know, and from this life into the next one and reincarnate into something else. You know, I just can't, you know, it's not that it's not that I don't want to play and I don't want to compete with you guys. And it's not that I don't want to dominate you guys like I have done for so long. You know, a lot of these guys get their entire play style from guys like me. Like we set the meta. We developed the meta. We realized, you know, besides the programmers, we were the ones that set it as a foundation. Like you can do crouch and light kick, crouch and light kick, crouch and light kick on hit, on counter hit. Yeah, like you could do crouch and light kick, and that's a true block string at the highest level. That's how it used to be. Like now, I feel like it's way easier to counter in between the crouching light kick, or like crouching light kick, crouching jab. It's way easier to fill that void. And in a way, I feel like it kind of took away from the purity of the game. You know what I'm saying? Because like I felt like the developers during the Third Strike production of Street Fighter 3, like there was a true reason why they had that. There was a true reason why it was a true block string at the highest level. Like, and it was almost impossible unless you were a computer to fit a super in between that and do a double motion. The reason why is because there has to be something that you can do to your opponent that they have to respect. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. You know, it's just a game of who can get the counter hit first. And I feel like it should not just be that. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of like the direction where they're going with Street Fighter, where it's like there are true frame traps with like Ken's hard kick dragon lash. And there's true frame traps. I think I even forgot to mention that Ken's running overhead kick isn't that a frame trap as well? Or am I wrong about that? I know that on hit he could combo after it, but I feel like I don't think anyone has ever mentioned that that's a true. I think that's a true frame trap if on block as well, because it has a running start, and like even though honestly you have to commit to it, so I don't really recommend doing it unless you truly understand your opponent, because if you commit to it just blindly and like hope that it'll work, they could easily hit you with a level 3 super or invincible reversal because it's so obvious. So to break from that ability that your opponent has to if you're constantly 100% of the time going for Ken's run into the overhead and you're not using the run stop, because you could stop it by pressing light kick after the run starts. I believe it's light kick, right? If you're not utilizing the stop and mixing it in with everything else that he can do out of it, it makes it complete, because like he has the hard punch uppercut that he could do. That's gonna stop the drive rush. I mean, that's gonna stop the drive. What's it called? The drive impacts. The hard punch uppercut it has enough hits to stop the drive impact because it's a 3-hit hard punch uppercut, dragon punch, Shoryuken. The overhead is for players that consistently try to block low. But the only way you can get them to block low, is by pressuring them low. You know what I'm saying? So like there's a balance. Like you have to, you could run stop, and then like when you have them afraid of the overhead, you could run stop and just stop and try to bait a reversal. Which a lot of people, believe it or not, especially at the beginner level, they will do that. So like when I 90% of my runs are run stops, and it's just building meter for me. I'll throw a fireball at I'll throw a projectile at my opponent with Ken, and then I'll run stop behind it and just do nothing. I'm just building meter that whole time. That's another thing that I noticed that a lot of beginner and intermediate players don't do enough, is that they're not trying to build meter, and meter is essential in Street Fighter, and especially, it allows you to go through situations that normally you have to block. You know what I'm saying? Like if your opponent crosses you up and tries to go for like a light kick, in all honesty, that's not a true block string. So you can actually invincible reversal through the crouching light kick if you're good enough. I notice it to be way easier to do if your opponent like tries to jump kick you or do a jumping attack at you and you block it, and they assume that they can do like a standing jab or a crouching light kick after that. That's actually not a true block string though. But the reason why a lot of high level players respect it is that if they're wrong and they commit to the invincible reversal and they don't, you know, they don't try to throw the jab, because you almost have to like instantly do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, it especially online, like it's very hard to do. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just, my main thing on this channel was just to show and how dominant I was in Street Fighter, and like that's how much time I put into it. But you know what I'm saying? You know, all these players, you know, if they're good enough to win, you know, I was winning, you know, before the game was even easy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I never ran into a player that got the best of me. You know, I thought I was one of the best Ryu players in HD Remix. And then I ran into, you know, a E Honda that knew how to truly utilize the booty drop and and the light punch headbutt that, although I don't agree with it, went through projectiles. And I thought that one change truly made E Honda easily one of the best characters in HD Remix, was because you could not truly zone him anymore. So as a Ryu player, I would have to switch it up to doing the fake projectile, which I wish he did have. I feel like Ken needs a fake projectile more than Ryu, to be honest. But you would have to do the fake projectile, hope that they would commit to a booty drop and stay within a range that he could not cross up and land on the other side. Because when he tried to land on the other side, it was pretty difficult to determine, you know, sometimes at the right range, whether it was to block left or right. The same thing with Vega. I felt like a lot of people were complaining about Vega. You know, they did make some changes where, you know, with Vega in HD Remix, where he did not do a hard knockdown anymore. So it did not allow him to get a second opportunity to jump in the air and catch you with the same situation. But I felt like without that, it took away the character being as, you know, what he was supposed to be. The startup of his, you know, I don't know exactly what that move is called. I think it's called a Zuno drop or something. I don't know. I think that's E Honda. The one where he jumps on the wall, yeah, you know what I mean? Where he jumps on the wall, yeah. You know, the Japanese players, you know, they always say that, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like that took away from how good he was. I felt like the only thing that they shouldn't have given him, because his jump in the air was so good, that I felt like they should have taken away his ability to do the backflip that has projectile invincibility. I felt like his projectile invincible move was the fact that he jumped so fast that unless he was in, I don't even think in the corner it worked against Ihan. There was a few, I felt like the charge characters, I don't agree with that now, but I'm talking about during the HD Remix like era of Street Fighter. I felt like the charge characters were the only characters in the game that you could not truly frame trap. Even in the corner, I felt like it was almost impossible unless you did the perfect. Like, I felt like the second projectile wouldn't get there fast enough no matter how hard you tried, even if you forced them to block the first one. Because in HD Remix, there was a true frame trap only in the corner. I don't know if it worked with Ken, because Ken projectile was too slow. But I know it worked with Ryu, where you would do on wake up, on your opponent's wake up when they first get off the ground, you would do like a light punch projectile that they had to block. And even if they tried to super you, you would be able to block them. So it was a true setup. So they would have to block the light punch projectile or whatever. I believed it was a light punch projectile first, and then you do like a hard punch projectile second or a medium punch second, depending on the range. I always did hard punch, and if they tried to jump out of it, which most beginner players try to do, they would get hit by the second one because there was no escaping it. But it only worked in the corner because you know the corner no longer push blocked your opponent, and push block is just what happens when you're blocking attacks and you automatically start moving away from your opponent. They just call that push block. You know, I believe Street Fighter and King of Fighters is the only ones no, actually, I think all of them have it. I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I think they all have push block to a certain extent. You know, but to make a long story short, you know, I was probably going to play a few games. I probably should pick Ryu because I feel like he's the best character to compete and win with, especially if you have not been playing the game for so long, because he's just so powerful. And, you know, I still think he's one of the few characters that can dominate Guile. And in my opinion, Guile, I feel like dominates everyone except for Ryu. Thank God, because I play Ryu. But and Ryu has a lot of good options to go through. I mean, there's a lot of characters that could do it. Like for example, E Honda's drive meter headbutt or his EX headbutt goes through projectile full screen. So in other words, Guile can't really throw any projectile at E Honda really. Which makes him a pretty mediocre character in my opinion. Without it. And, you know, Ryu, if he has his Denjin Fireball charge, his down punch, basically beats Guile's projectile full screen or anywhere else on the screen if he decides to do it, which most high-level players don't, but I'm just saying as an example. And his hard kick, spin kick has always gone over Guile's Sonic Boom projectile. It's a little bit harder to do now in Street Fighter 6 than it ever was in HD Remix or any of the previous games. And I felt like, you know, like I will play a few games, but I do. Hopefully you guys take it easy on me because I have not been playing the game online consistently and regularly, so I'm just probably gonna play a few casual matches. But we'll see what happens. I'm probably gonna get dominated because I tried playing like the other day and I completely got dominated by a JP player and a Terry player. But I didn't honestly think I was playing against like, you know, the greatest player that ever lived. I just felt like I was beating. I felt like I was probably, you know, losing more to the fact that I had just not consistently played the game. So, you know, I didn't want to make the video too long. But like I said, I'm at the point where like, unless Justin Wong's team signs me or something like that, I probably I'm just gonna probably call it quits. And like, I am a true fanatic of fighting games. I didn't just start pretending to be a fan of fighting games because there was a lot of money on the table. I genuinely, like, when everyone had an Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, I was like religiously playing Street Fighter 3 and Super Turbo on a PlayStation 2 because I had nothing else. And it drastically helped me from like being a habitual masturbator at the time, because I turned so religious that I was like, I got to do something like other than masturbation all day. So I was like, okay, like let me like get a new hobby, because like masturbating all the time is only just making me like, you know, like tired and hungry. So like I need a new hobby that like utilizes my mind and forces me to focus my brain, and like and Street Fighter became that. You know, I had become a huge fan ever since I was a little kid, but I eventually grew away from it, and I just, you know, I didn't get those games anymore. You know, as I started getting older, I had to, you know, work and work for mine so I could get stuff like that. And you know, it wasn't until a white kid that I used to work with at ShopRite. I used to work for the warehouse beyond ShopRite that actually owns ShopRite, or they do business with. It was called Wakefern. I used to work for them, and I used to work for them, and what was I gonna say? There was a white kid that I played. They actually had a Tekken cabinet in the break room. When you take a break from work, like you stop working it for like 15 minutes or whatever, and before you go back to work, they had a cafeteria upstairs, and I was shocked. I was surprised to see that there was actually a Tekken arcade cabinet inside the lunchroom, and I'm like, in my head, I thought I was the great athlete. Like, this is before I actually became like. You know, I feel like at my prime, I deserve to be on the Mount Rushmore of fighting game players. No doubt about it. There's no denying that. Any player that, I mean, I was dominating 99% of you guys with one eye. If that doesn't put me on the Mount Rushmore of fighting game players of all time, I don't know what will. Because I guarantee you, if you were to take even an amazing player like Idon and have him put an eye patch and cover one of his eyes, he wouldn't be able to do half of the stuff that he's doing now. Because Japanese fighting games are extremely fast, probably faster than all the other fighting games out there. So imagine me doing it with one eye, and I'm like literally glued to my screen trying to beat you guys and compete with you guys, and still doing it. So the point I'm trying to make is that when I was working there, the reason I got back into Street Fighter and actually ended up buying a used copy of the Anniversary Collection for PlayStation 2 was because, you know, that game was originally only released in Japan. Street Fighter 3 did not get released independently in the United States until that PlayStation 2 collection. So when I found out, you know, I thought I was the greatest fighting game player at the time, but all I ever did was play the computer on PlayStation 2. So I thought I was the greatest fighting game player of all time. In my head, I thought I was the greatest already. But this is before I actually became that. And then, you know, there was a white kid that I worked with, and this is when YouTube first started getting real big. And I didn't even know about YouTube. He told me about it. And I was like, yo, no one could beat me in Street Fighter. I'm the greatest player of all time. And the white kid looked at me and he was like, no, you can't beat this Japanese player from Japan. And he was like, and I was like, what's his name? He told me his name, Umahara. And he was like, look up the video on YouTube with Umahara and Justin Wong. And as soon as I saw the video, I was like, what the hell game is that? Like, I remember playing Street Fighter 3 when it first came out, but I think I only played the first two variations of it. I never had the final variation, which was the best one. Third Strike was the final one that they did for Street Fighter 3. Before that, they had like Double Impact or Giant, you know, something like that. New Generation was the first Street Fighter 3, and then they had like Giant Impact or Double Impact was part 2. I played those and I thought they were good, but I didn't think they were as amazing as Third Strike was. So like when I see, you know, some of the best players in Third Strike going at it, and it's going back and forth. Justin Wong wins the first round, dominates him the second match, almost completely eliminates him with Chun-Li, which is phenomenal, which in my opinion is phenomenal, because Chun-Li doesn't even have a crouching light kick super option available, which in my opinion, at the highest level of Third Strike is a requirement. If you do not have that option available, do not pick the character. And Justin Wong still proved us almost all of us wrong. But to make a long story short, how he was able to dominate Ken, which is considered to be very high tier in Third Strike, maybe only second to, you know, Akuma. I still thought Akuma and Ken were the real best characters in the game. A lot of people said, oh, Yoon with Ganajin. Yeah, Yoon with Ganajin, but guess what? He still has to get a Ganajin. So my strategy against Yoon players was rush him down, rush that dude down before he ever has a chance to become Super Saiyan Ganajin Yoon. I would just completely rush him down because his wake-up options were not only easy to parry, but they were easy to beat. Especially when he had no meter. Yoon is very easy to beat when he has no meter because everything he does is so telegraphed. Don't throw any projectiles to him because he could go right under it with his Dragon Punch motion, hard punch, or special move, full screen. Like damn near full screen. He goes right under it. You know what I'm saying? It's not the easiest thing to do, but it's possible. You know what I'm saying? And also he has the dive kick. So zoning him is out of the question. Unless he's full screen, zoning him is out of the question. He can't reach you anywhere else on the screen unless he's like about mid-screen. He could finally start to pressure you. So like once he gets mid-screen, I would stop throwing projectiles and I would bait the projectile. What I would do, I'll pump fake the down motion. I'll pump fake the down motion, especially if they like to neutral jump a lot. I'll either just do an anti-air normal, like with Ryu, like standing hard kick, or wait for him to come down. And if he does a neutral jump and does not dive kick, I'll do like a EX projectile on his way down and force him to parry that. And even if he parries that, I can like dash in and try to uppercut and make it even harder. Or like dash in and stand jab him. And like most high level players are not going to be able to do all that. Believe me, it's not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's impossible to parry a EX projectile. You know, I'm just saying options that you have. You know what I'm saying? But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, he was the one that put me the white boy that I used to work that I worked with at Wakefern, that I helped shovel out his car, his Camaro, whatever he had, that had rear drive, because I felt bad because he was struggling to get out, and I was like, yo, I gotta help this dude out. Like me and the Mexican, I mean he was Salvadorian. I was giving him a ride back home, and me and him helped him shovel out his car so he could get out, because there was a blizzard of snow while we were working at Wakefern. There was a blizzard of snow happening. So like we had to shovel our way out just to get home. So imagine doing that after working hard for 8 hours at a job that's very strenuous. You have to lift 60, 80-pound boxes every day, all day, every day. Those boxes of yams and potatoes are heavy as hell. Do not think they're not. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was real funny because there was a Tekken cabinet. I don't remember exactly which one it was. It may have been Tekken 5 or something like that, or Tekken 6. I don't quite remember. But I was happy to see that they had a Tekken cabinet. In my head, I was like, I wasn't going to the cafeteria to eat. I was going to the cafeteria to play Tekken. Because I love Tekken. You know, Tekken is one of my, that's my top 3 is Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Tekken. That's always going to be on my Mount Rushmore. I would say that maybe Samurai Showdown and Soul Calibur are probably the next 2 on the list. You know what I'm saying? I still think Samurai Showdown is better than King of Fighters. But they took away the flatulence projectile. I don't know why they did that. That's when someone farts. If you guys don't know, flatulence means when they fart. That's the actual word for it, though. I was very disappointed when they took that projectile away from Earthquake. And it's a shame because I felt like that was one of the big selling points for Samurai Showdown. As a kid, like, playing those games, like, you know, it made me laugh so much to see that on the screen. I never saw a character do that before. You know, I've seen projectiles before, but I never saw a projectile that when it actually landed, the opponent would start looking like their face got green and it looked like they were about to vomit. And then it just completely collapsed and fainted on the ground. And it was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, I thought it was so funny because I actually, I'm playing the Tekken cabinet, and then this Dominican guy that I used to work with, me and him had a rivalry in Tekken because before I showed up at the job, he was considered to be the best player in the entire warehouse. So when he sees me playing against the computer by myself, he arrogantly shows up and he smiles at me and he puts the coins in the machine. And he starts playing and I whoop him. And I whoop him. And I swear to God, he caught feelings. He caught feelings, and I swear to God, me and him had a rivalry from that moment on, that every time we had a chance, we would go to the cafeteria and try to prove who was the best player that day. So like 5 days a week, me and him would show up at the cafeteria, and like, don't get me wrong, there was moments where he beat me. He was a jack player. He was really good. He was really good. Probably the only jack player that's good in my city. To this very day, I would not deny that he's probably still one of the best jack players out here. But I just knew how to play fighting games. Like at the time I believed I was the best player in the world, but I really wasn't until much later when I learned way more about the game. When I started learning more about the game and tried to improve as a player and started to analyze why I was losing and looking at my replays and trying to figure out what I could do in that particular situation to get out of it, and maybe I would win next time instead of losing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, me and him had a rivalry, you know, and then there was a second Dominican guy that he thought he was as good as us, but all he ever did with Kazuya was the up spin kick, where you jump with, I think you have to do like up or towards your opponent, or just up with hard kick, and he automatically starts doing that spin kick similar to Ryu, where it finishes with a low, and that's all he ever did. And like, I think I felt bad for him one time, and I just let him win, and he was like, yeah, like, and I was like, I just let him win so he would believe that he was like at our level. And then I remember one time I spanked the original guy that thought he was the best, and he started cursing me out and everything, bro, because I wouldn't give him a rematch. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, I'm done. I was just playing around. Like, you know, like when people lose, they always want that rematch. I was like, no, I'm done. I'm the best. I'm done. And he started cursing me out. I'm like, bro, relax. It's just a game. Like, what are you, like, you're cursing me out over Tekken? And secretly in my head, I was like, But like, to make a long story short, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I felt like maybe not during the Street Fighter Third Strike generation. I felt like I could have placed top 8, no doubt about it. No one could stop me from. I felt like no one could stop me from placing top 8 during the Third Strike online generation, and even the HD remix generation. When it changed to Street Fighter 4, it took me a while to really adapt in the game, and like it felt way slower, and the combos were not exactly the way it was in Third Strike Online Edition, which was my favorite Street Fighter of all time. I love that how Capcom USA added the additional colors. I still feel like Japan wants the online edition with the additional colors added as an arcade cabinet, which would be awesome to see. But in Street Fighter V, I felt like I should have been, you know, going to tournaments and dominating. You know, not only with Ken, but with Laura, I felt like I had I finally found the characters that, and Ryu, like, I found the characters that I felt like I could do really good with, especially with Laura. I felt like she was the perfect character for my kind of gameplay style, which I feel like has always been Rushdown. I feel like I'm more Rushdown than zoning. When I first started playing, I felt like I was more zoning than Rushdown, but I just got tired of playing such a patient chess match kind of style, and I was like, no, I want to Rushdown.
Like, I want to be in my opponent's face and like pressuring them the entire game. That way, later on they don't complain about me. Oh, I'm just throwing projectiles and trying to uppercut you the whole game. Like, no, I wanted to be genuinely in my opponent's face and completely dominating them. And there's nothing they could do about it. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I finally found that with Kimberly. Even though I have not been playing, like I said, for the last few months, because I didn't want to run 2 outlets, one for my internet and one for my TV and PlayStation, just so I could play with you guys. That was the primary reason I have not been streaming so much recently. But like I said, Street Fighter 6, like I said, Street Fighter 5 was amazing. It was a masterpiece. The one thing I really wish they would change in Street Fighter 6 is the ability to jump in the air instantly. But I kind of understand why they do it, is because it allows... The thing I don't understand is that I feel like the developers made it that way so that Ken's special moves, like Ken's hard kick Dragon Lash, are truly a frame trap, and you can't just jump out of the way at the last second, right? I felt like that's the real reason they designed it, but guess what? It loses to projectiles, which it should not. If I already committed to doing a hard kick Dragon Lash with Ken, and my opponent at the last second tries to do a drive meter projectile or a regular projectile or standing jab, and it beats the hard kick Dragon Lash, there's something, in my opinion, there's something wrong with the programming there. I've already committed to doing a move that not only should have projectile invincibility at some point, regardless of if it's drive meter or not. In my opinion, it should even have super invincibility, where if they even try to super you, it'll beat that as well. I feel like if they made it that way, it would be the best Street Fighter of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, like, yeah, each character, I agree with the developers, adding those special moves and normal attacks that are frame traps make the game way more interesting. I do completely agree with them. The more I look at it and the more I try to understand it, it makes perfect sense to me. But what does not make perfect sense to me is that Ken's hard kick Dragon Lash is very easy to counter. Especially if the opponent has meter. Especially if it's a character like Guile or Blanca or DJ. Or Chun-Li. You know what I mean? What I find is completely unacceptable is that I agree with them that it should be a frame trap, but I also disagree that a player, there's absolutely no action happening on the screen. The Ken player decides to pressure his opponent by doing his hard kick Dragon Lash, which on block is a frame trap, and you have to respect that. So if you try to press any button after that, you're going to get beat by the jab. And that jab is going to counter hit you, and he could link it to his standing medium punch, standing hard punch target combo, which can be run canceled after the hard punch into a Dragon Lash, which will give you also a hard punch uppercut or a level 3 super if you have it, or any other super if you have it. Okay? That's a lot of damage for a crouching jab counter hit. Okay, that's a lot of damage for a counter hit crouching jab, and it's essential for his gameplay at the highest level. But guess what happens? Guess what happens? Ken has one of the worst, in my opinion, one of the worst special moves. I mean, one of the worst frame trap special moves in the entire game. The reason I say that is because not only can they just kind of when I play Ken players that like to do that a lot, I like to stay at that reactable range. If you guys don't know what that means probably maybe mid-range, closer to full screen range. Whereas if they try to do it, I probably still have enough time to neutral jump it and counter hit him on the way down. and get a full combo conversion with a counter hit with a jumping hard kick. And if you guys don't know, jumping hard kick out of all the normal attacks in the game does the most damage. So on counter hit, it does even more than that. So I'm not preaching, hey, just neutral jump out of your opponent's special moves. But the thing that bothers me is that, not the thing that bothers me, but the thing that I think they should change is that I'm not saying it should have projectile invincibility right away, because that wouldn't be fair. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying at some point during the animation startup, it should be understood that the Ken player has already committed to doing that special move, the hard kick dragon lash. And regardless of what they do after it, my opponent should not be able to counter hit it, and they should have to respect it like it's a freight train going downhill right for them. And there's nothing they can do. They can't even get out of the way. That would make it complete. But unfortunately, he has one of the worst ones in the entire game. Whereas in my opinion, Ryu has some of the best ones. You know what I'm saying? Ryu's, if I'm not mistaken, Ryu's quarter circle back EX dragon punch. Quarter circle back 2-punch button. I don't know what that move is called. Shuki. He says, I think he says Shuki. I believe that move is safe. Is frame trap, is it not? Only the drive meter version of it is frame trap. His hard punch, his quarter circle back hard punch variation of that move, I believe is also a frame trap. But the thing is, you can't just recklessly do it. His hard kick, sidestep kick, I call it the sidestep kick, that was originally introduced during Third Strike. During Street Fighter 3. I don't know if it was during the first game or the third. I don't remember exactly when, but I know it was first introduced during the Street Fighter 3 Street Fighter games. And the hard kick version of that move is actually safe on block. And if they try to do anything, you can actually drive meter uppercut, dragon punch, and it'll basically beat any normal attack that they do in the game. I believe you can even hit them with like medium punch, standing medium punch, if I'm not mistaken, or crouching medium punch, or standing jab. Any of those moves will work. I'm not 100% positive on that. I usually just do dragon punch or enhanced. I usually do the drive meter dragon punch, which will immediately go through any normal attack that they have. Which, if you guys don't know, when you start shutting down, when you start installing fear in your opponent that they cannot press any buttons, that's when you start going for grabs. Because most players in Street Fighter are going to believe that because they have such a lightning fast jab, crouching or standing, and such a fast crouching light kick, that they're unstoppable and they can never be touched in Street Fighter. And this is where the frame traps come in. Frame traps are very effective against those kind of players that believe they cannot be stopped because they understand when to throw the standing jab, crouching light kick. Those are the players that you want to set up with frame traps, particularly more than everyone else, because they're never going to believe that they're unsafe, and they're always going to believe that they can jab you out of everything. And it's just not true. You know what I'm saying? The point I'm trying to make is that I know every character has it, but I feel like, you know, like I said, let me switch over. I don't know. Should I play Kimberly or should I play Ken? I don't know if I should play Kimberly or Ken, to be honest. I feel like I would probably do better with Kimberly, but I'm going to drop a lot of her high-level combos, and I'm probably going to lose because of it. But if I pick Ken, I'm going to try to almost entirely rely on like an HD remix style Ken, and online that just does not work out for me more times than not. But we're gonna try it out. We're gonna try it out. I'm gonna try. I'll try out a little bit with Kimberly. And I'll play only a few matches with people. I don't want to ruin my ranked record because I take it very serious. If you subtract about maybe 200 matches from my losses, you'll actually probably get the real record, because my first Street Fighter 6 matches was entirely with Zangief, and although I did beat a lot of good players, even though I had no idea what I was doing with Zangief, I did take a lot of losses, and it was about like 200 if I'm not mistaken, and to the point where I was like, okay, I gotta switch to Ryu because this is not working out for me. Okay, and I do gotta say, in my opinion, Zangief in Street Fighter 6 is the worst character in the entire game. If you do want to play competitively and you want to try to win money at tournaments, in my opinion, you're wasting your time with Zangief. I'm not saying that a player cannot win, but he better be. I just feel like his overhead is way too easy to block. I feel like his command grab is almost entirely useless unless he combos it, which is possible. But I feel like at the highest level, he doesn't have enough gimmicks anymore to try to really kind of win. And the knowledge of how to beat grapplers like that has gotten so much more, evolved. Whereas like in the Street Fighter in the HD remix era, I was the only player that believed I had a chance at stopping it by getting hit on purpose by the jab, but or the well, you should never get, if you're getting crossed up with a body splash with Zangief in HD remix, you're not playing the matchup properly. If you're already getting crossed up by Zangief, you are not playing the matchup properly, because he should never get to that level. He should never cross the threshold of where you are as a character. And in my opinion, if you have absolutely no idea of knowing what you're doing, I feel like Blanca and Sagat are probably some of the better options against Zangief in HD Remix, because they have that angled, and Vega as well, because they have that real angled jumping kick, hard kick, which really beats all of his lariat attempts, pretty much, almost all of them, unless it's like a meaty wake up, which you should never try to do, because it's the most effective at that moment. Okay. Let me just start up a match. I don't know if anyone's playing. I'm just gonna run it. I don't know if I should pick Kimberly though. I feel like I'm probably better off with Ken. We'll see what happens. Let me get spanked with Kimberly a little bit. Let me see if I still have what it takes. It's been a few months. I have not been playing competitively for a few months because of that. The reason I told you. Oh no, I'm not playing one. Okay. Should I change? I love Kimberly though. I think Kimberly is exactly what I feel like. Kimberly is what Guy should have always been, in my opinion. Like, I feel like it was the true evolution of Guy, even though aesthetically speaking, I would much rather see Guy. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly didn't think that they made Kimberly's booty big enough, considering she was a black girl. And I don't quite understand the decision making there. Her booty should have been way fatter. Okay, I'm gonna start up a match. We'll see. We'll see if I could win. I probably won't, guys. Don't get your hopes up to me. Don't let that deter you. Don't let that be a deterrent for you. If you look at my previous videos, especially during the Street Fighter V era with Laura, and you could see where I really was at. You know what I'm saying? When I truly was taking the game serious. And as for the people that were, double perfected me in Tekken and stuff like that, or triple perfected me in Tekken, I did not truly understand the game mechanics. And as you see, once I understood the wake-up mechanics of Tekken properly, I was not getting spanked by Kazuya anymore. It was actually the other way around, 99% of the time, when I truly understood the game. Okay? So don't get too excited. You have to truly understand what the game is capable of before you can truly reach the highest level. And you have to understand all the factors at play. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should just do a ranked instead, but like I genuinely don't want to ruin my ranked match, my ranked record, because I take it so serious. And I know it's still a game to me, but I play to win and I take it very serious. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, someone tried to connect to me right now and it did not work. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If I can't get a game, I'm probably gonna get spanked, guys. Don't get too excited, and don't let this be the definitive reason why you stop watching my channel if I get spanked, because I'm most certainly going to get spanked right now. Okay, I don't even know who that is. Okay. Oh my god. Let's try. He tried to do the command grab and... Oh, come on, man. Oh, good projectile on the jump back. Nice try. That works only on the uninitiated. That only effective on the uninitiated. Oh, they should have gave me that. They should have gave me that. They should have gave me that for sure. Oh my god. Oh my god. He shouldn't actually won that match. When I didn't like that when he, like, I felt like I should have more time when I counter hit him with that low attack and he get hit with the spray can. Give me more time than that. I feel like they fall too fast. I'm not getting all the information. God damn. Oh, come on. Come on, man. That was a very scrub move for him to do, by the way. Come on! Oh my god! That should have more invincibility to shut that down. That should stop that. Her run option should stop drive impact, man. Oh my god. My TV's too big, man. I can't be tilting my head left and right like this, man. I need a smaller monitor, bro, for real. I keep... Oh my god. Come on, man! I hit him 3 times. Oh my god. That jumps! Are you kidding me? I jumped right there, man. Come on, baby. Oh, come on! Come on, man! There you go. There you go. Not even landing combos, like just throwing shit out there. Throwing stuff out there, man. Not even landing combos, just throwing it out there. Come on, man! See what I mean? One little mistake with a fucking combo, man. Are you kidding me? I clearly landed that. That's so fucking, yo, dude, that's so unfair, man. Dude, I did hard kick full. Oh my god. Oh my god. Of course it doesn't. Dude, you're gonna let him get crouch and light kick at that? What do you do? Crouch and light kick? Oh my god. Oh my god! Dude, how's he jumping in the air so fast, man? That better give me... Bro, that better give me the win! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How does that miss at that range, man? There you go. Bro, I'm done. Guys, I'm done after this one, man. Talk. Oh, come on, man! Bro, they give him too many of those, damn. I swear to God, there's too many drive impacts that you could do in a round, man. It has to drain more meter, bro. God damn, man. Dude, how was he doing standing hard kick before I could grab him, man? Oh my God. Dude, that's not even right for him to win off of like normal attack combos. When he plays such an amazing zoning game, he does too much damage up close, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, come on, man! Of course. Oh, man. I messed up, guys. Bro, that's an anti-projectile. Oh, my God. Bro, that's not even right, man. That's not even right. He threw a projectile where I was, not where I was going, and it still hit me. I knew it. This guy's lightweight, man. And he breaks it. Let's go, baby. This guy's lightweight. Woo! Still got it. Still got it. Like herpes, I still got it. Uh-oh. Woo! How many times did he get knocked the fuck out? This white boy got too good of a jaw, man. Unbelievable. Bro, I go for grab. He hits standing hard kick. Who does standing hard kick on? Game! Let's go, baby! Let's go! I have not played in 3-4 months competitively. I got it, baby. I knew I'd get him. He's lightweight, man. He's lightweight. This is a lightweight right here. I'm a heavyweight sparring with a lightweight right now. Woo! Come on, man! Oh my God. Let's go. Bro, that's not fair, man. Woo! I'm done after this one, boy. You a lightweight. I'm sparring with a lightweight right now. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a super heavyweight. You a featherweight. You a super featherweight. I'm a super heavyweight sparring with a featherweight right now. I'm done. I'm done, man. I'm done. You don't deserve my greatness, man. You don't deserve my greatness, man. You don't deserve my greatness. You don't deserve my greatness, boys. All right, guys. I'll play one more set with one more group of people, man. You don't deserve my greatness, baby. I'm trying to tell him, bro. I'm trying to tell him. Kimberly is, believe it or not, Kimberly, in my opinion, without the spray can, is on the lower tier side. Like, she's on the low tier side of things. She does not have an invincible reversal. She does not, besides her level 1 super or her level 3 super, she does not have the characteristics and qualities that the high tier characters possess and actually have. Like, for example, Ryu's drive meter uppercut, Ken's drive meter uppercut. That makes him on the higher spectrum of tier lists just because of that. His level 3 super does not have that much range, you're right. His level 1 super probably has the most range. In fact, I won against a really good Akuma player, hopping over his super and catching him with a level 1 super where normally I would not be able to get there any other way. This is why I say, don't just, oh, I gotta use my level 3 to do a lot of damage. No. You got to understand, if your opponent likes a zone, you might need that level 1 with Ken, because it's the only way to get there in time, believe it or not. It doesn't look like it gets there in time, but after the activation, he flies over there. After, it looks like he's not going to make it, but suddenly he went 30 feet with his kick combo. You know what I'm saying? The JP, I'm not going to deny it. Look, the JP player is a good player. You saw he spanked me the first few times until I truly understood not only his weakness, but what his game plan was. Oh, come on. Oh, you can't pick yellow, bro. You can't pick yellow, bro. You wasting my time, bro. He knew that wasn't true, which he should. Come on, that has to be there faster. I can't really see what he's doing with the yellow, man. All right, I'm not impressed, bro. I'm just gonna let him. I might as well just let him win with this because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, man. Yellow and white are almost exactly the same. Oh, come on. That doesn't hit him standing? I mean, jumping? The standing heart kick should hit them if they jump, man. See what I mean? He ain't doing nothing. I commit to doing a play and he just... No, I was not doing the same thing. That's an anti-projectile move. That's an anti-projectile move. He's using an anti-air on a grounded opponent. All right, I'm done. I'm wasting my time with this guy. I don't play against yellow pants characters, man. I don't play against yellow pants characters, bro. It's too hard to see his attacks. It's too hard on a white background to see their attacks. I should have stayed with the JP player. At least he picked a color that I could easily see on the screen. All right, I'll probably play one more set and then I'm done. Because this video is already type long, you know what I'm saying? So they're probably gonna flag it anyway, because you know. But you know, because they got nothing better to do, I guess. You know, there's like you know, and I find it hilarious because like there's rappers out there that have songs of theirs that have explicit language and all that, and it has 700 million views. But like the minute I do it, oh my God, let's stop it, shut it down. Oh my God, this is top priority. Like you would think I was Bin Laden or something. Oh my God, shut it down, shut it down. He went too far. Meanwhile, these rappers are like publicly talking about gay sex. And sounds like they're proud of it. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, according to YouTube, because they have 700 million views. And have made $500,000 this month alone. Damn, this game is fast. Knew you would. Woo! He thought he had it. He thought he had it. You intermediate, man. You not expert like me, bruh. There's a big difference between you and me, man. I know it works. You hope it works. I know it works. I can't even really see what the fuck he's doing. Are you kidding me? Oh, come on. Oh my God. I can't really see what the fuck she's doing, man. Alright. I pressed the fucking drive impact, man. Oh man, it's unbelievable, bro. I swear to God, I wish I was back to where I really want to be, man. I really do, man, because I would not be losing to that. I would not be losing to that at all. I tried to hit him with a hard punch after he did a wake up rhino horn, and he was able to block that. He made a mistake, and he was able to block that, dude. That like. Capcom USA, man, in my opinion, you should really work on that, man. The recovery time is not long enough, man. As a computer programmer, if you can't figure that out, you should not be in computer programming. If I can't land a hard punch on an opponent easily that made a mistake, or a hard kick on an opponent that easily made a mistake, you're not doing it right. I mean, what else do you want me to say about it? All right, guys, I'll play one more set, man. That's it. And not only that, Elena has one of those weird, awkward character designs where she's like, it feels like she's so low to the ground in comparison to everyone else. Just like Eddie Gordo, man. It's like it should not be like that. You know what I'm saying? I understand maybe during a combo string, he gets really low to the ground and kicks you in the air, but Jesus Christ, can he stand up during the fight for a little bit? I mean, I'm fighting a guy that's like on the ground, and Tekken, you know, almost every character has like some of the slowest low attacks in the game. All right, guys, if I don't get someone to join in like another 5 minutes, I'm probably going to just end it there. You know what I'm saying? But I've complained about these characters in the past that like I don't think they make the black enough, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they try to make her brown. I think they should make her completely black, like Gorilla Black. Like she should be Gorilla Black. Like in my opinion, for online play, she should either be Gorilla Black, or like they got to put like an outfit on her that's easier to see on the screen, bro. Cause she like in a bikini and like it's all skin and like it's hard to like, I don't know, man. It's all kicks. Like she's like literally all kicks. All right, guys, I'm done after this one. It's a waste of time. Hey, you gotta be kidding me, man! Oh my God! I was safe already. That wouldn't have caught me. It was too late in the animation. I don't know why I did the crouching jab. Oh my God! Oh my God! Nice. See what I mean? That was a true frame trap, and he was able to invincible reversal before the next hit. That's why I stopped, because I knew he was going to go for it. Give me that. Can you give me more time than that? He just made a big mistake, man. Yes! He made a huge mistake. He missed the level 3. Give me another 5 seconds there, for Christ's sake. Give me that, baby. Yes. This guy's mediocre, man. Oh, come on. Bro, that's whack. How's that enough? Woo! Alright, I'm gonna have to pick someone else. I can't do it though. I can't do the yellow pants, bro. No offense, man. He's mediocre, bro. I wouldn't even waste my time with that guy. In my opinion, that's not a true high level player. I thought when he went for the enhanced drive meter, see what I mean? See what I mean? Like, that was a frame trap that I caught him with. If I would have pressed the button, he would have beat me with the drive meter up kick. That's why I don't quite understand. Like the DJ and Guile and I feel like their invincible reversal is too good. It's too fast. It has to be a little bit later than that. It has to be like another maybe second after that. That way it forces players to be good. It forces players to actually rely on talent and combo and combo possibilities. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? It forces a player to like think a little bit more, you know, logically of how they're gonna crack their opponent's defense and beat their opponent. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying though, right? Like I don't want to, you know, I hope the players that I'm playing against aren't listening to me. I'm assuming they're not. Otherwise, I wouldn't be calling them, oh, he's super whack. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be saying that if I knew they could hear me. But no one listens to what I got to say anyway, so. All right. Okay, so is he playing or no? I'm in the game right now, so I believe in self-defense, if you must know. And I think every man or woman has the right to do so. Serious? Oh, what? That's good. I feel like that, like I tried to catch him with the standing hard kick frame trap with Kimberly. That's a frame trap with standing hard kick, right? What is it? Standing medium punch after that, or is it jab? Because I tried to. I love it. Love you guys. Oh my god. That's an air to air. I love it. Yeah, like I said, this is it. Oh, I should have. I knew that was it. I should have done the level 3 right there. Okay. Listen, guys, I have not played it competitively in like literally. I mean, there was a few moments where I was playing mainly Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm saying? There's a place in my heart that is always gonna have love for Street Fighter, even though like I feel like Street Fighter does not love me, because I spent so much time trying to figure out what the game like lacked and what could make it, you know, a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? I felt like don't get me wrong, I feel like the developers, at least here or in the United States, have been listening to a lot of what I've been saying, and I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And I know they work hard to make this a reality, but goddamn, give Ken's hard kick Dragon Lash projectile invincibility and normal attack invincibility. Since he's already in the air, I feel like you should be maybe able to anti-air it, but I feel like even that is too much. Like, it should just have invincibility until it hits the opponent and lands on them. It doesn't make any other sense any other way to me, because you can't just use Dragon Lash to break out of pressure. Like if your opponent's pressuring you and you try to Dragon Lash, you're gonna get counter hit. So it's not an invincible reversal. So the only effective use for it is for it to be either land as an attack, which almost never happens outside of a combo, or use the hard kick Dragon Lash variation and try to catch him with either a throw or a frame trap normal a crouching jab. So if you're never able to get to that, if it's extremely difficult to get to that point in time where they're actually blocking it, I just don't see the effectiveness of it as a frame trap, because in my opinion, I've gotten further with Ken rarely using the move than Ken players who use the move all the time have ever gotten, because it's just so predictable and it's so easy to counter. I mean, players have standing jabbed me on reaction and knocked me out of it. I mean, literally just mashing jab. That's completely unacceptable in my opinion. There's no reason at all why a player should be able to standing jab me out of a hard kick Dragon Lash move that, like, you know, because at the highest level, there's a lot of times where you and your opponent are not doing anything at all. And then someone has to break from the monotony of nothing happening and do something. And when they actually do something, it should be respected. But it's not. And that's the thing that bothers me. You know, it's not that it bothers me. It's the one thing I wish they would tweak. God damn, it's not going to be game changing for Ken to have projectile invincibility and normal attack invincibility at a certain point. To the, you know, I'm not saying you could hard kick Dragon Lash at point blank range and they can't standing jab you out of it. I'm saying at a certain point when he's already been coming at you for 22 frames, he earned the right as a character and as a player to have you respect his offense. Otherwise, what's the point? What is the point? I understand it's a game. I get it. But if there's going to be a logic to the game, have the logic, you know, be applied to every single character in the game. Oh my God. Nah, hell no. Nah. Oh man. Nah, bro. Thank you, God. I gotta win this. Oh my God, she misses cross up. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, congratulations. You did one move and won. Oh my God, online, congratulations. You're the greatest player that ever lived. Oh my God, I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed you were able to do one move over and over again online and believe that you were good in your heart and your mind. Yeah, sure. But I do like the fact that when you parry E Honda's booty drop, I like the fact that almost every single time I actually got it, I was able to do a standing medium punch counter hit. So the only thing was that I had wasted all my meter trying to do combos, but I feel like against E Honda, he's like one of the few characters that you shouldn't even do that, especially against a reckless E Honda player like I just played right there. Like, I would save all my meter just to parry, because it's a very easy parry to do, and it'll parry both sides, regardless of if he lands behind you or in front of you. And you get a guaranteed counter hit with, as you saw, I was doing standing medium punch, and it hit every single time that I actually did it. So that's going to lead to a lot more damage than him recklessly trying to booty drop you, thinking that he's actually a good player. And as you can see, he left after the first win because he knows deep down in his heart that he's just a reckless, random E Honda player that has no real talent. And he knew in his heart he couldn't do it again. So that's why he left and ran off like all the other scrubs do. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're going to play one more set, and I'm done after that. I swear to God, I'm done. I don't want to stream for too long, but, you know, I probably won't. I probably won't be streaming too much fighting games. Like I said, this is probably the farewell for me. You know, I've grinded online for a very, very, very long time. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players understand the game because players like me were grinding so hard and trying to dominate the leaderboards. And, you know, that'll never change. So I have already been cemented in my heart as one of the best fighting game players of all time. So, and I don't care about anything else of any opinion of anyone else that just sits around thinking about people all day and got nothing better to do because their hair fell out. All right. Oh, come on! Alright. Like I said, I'm done. This guy keeps joining my room with yellow pants and he's trolling me. He's obviously trolling me because I keep quitting on him and he keeps coming back and he just doesn't get the hints that I don't want to play with him. I obviously don't want to play with him. See? That setup is true. But I don't think he should. I think they should give you more time when he makes a mistake, though. You see that? I made the right move. Best game, probably. Woo! And I didn't have to waste the level 3. Give me a second one there. Stop doing so much goddamn push block on a fucking the counter hit, man. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Thank you, God. Knew you were. You a glorified scrub, my boy. You a glorified scrub. You a glorified scrub. I'm gonna end the stream there. You a glorified scrub, my boy. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. You're wasting your time. You're wasting. If you can hear me, I apologize, but I don't recommend that this player waste any time or any money trying to go to tournaments because it's a wasted effort. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's a wasted effort, man. Just quit while you're ahead. Quit while you're behind, I should say. Quit while you're behind, my boy. Real talk. All right, guys, I'm gonna end it there.
New notification. Broadcasting only mic audio because you entered a block scene.
I just want to say, hold on. I just want to say that I have not legitimately been playing Street Fighter competitively I mean, I did try like 2 sets yesterday, and I quit on the JP player in a casual match because he jumped in the air towards me. I tried to anti-air him with hard kick, anti-air with Kimberly, quarterback circle hard kick, and he did jumping jab and completely hit me out of the anti-air, and I completely rage quit at that moment. They call it rage quitting. I wasn't actually angry. I was more probably disappointed that the developers made that kind of decision that allows a player to... Who does jumping jab? In my opinion, jumping jab should not even be an option in the air. It should only be jumping hard punch and jumping hard kick. You know what I'm saying? It should. Matter of fact, I think the only option available in the air should be the jumping medium kick and the jumping hard kick. Either you're crossing up your opponent or you're catching them with a jumping attack. I think all the other additional options are completely irrelevant, other than special moves like Kimberly's air grab. I kind of like it. You know what I'm saying? It's way better of an anti-air than it should be. I would never use it, to be honest. I think it's a waste of meter. I'd rather catch him with the regular anti-air. But like I said, you know what? Like if you join my room, right? I don't want to sound like I'm talking. I don't know if they're listening to me or not. I hope they're not listening to me because I don't want to sound like I'm hating on them. But if you join my room, I've said it time and time again, I do not like players that use like certain colors on certain backgrounds. Yellow is very similar to white and it's hard to see on the background. So it's hard for me to see what attacks you're actually doing. And as you can see, like I quit on him and then I start a new match. He rejoins. Get a clue, man. Get a clue. I don't want to play with you, man. I don't like the fact that you have a character with yellow pants. It's nothing personal. I just don't like it. I feel like you're not getting the best out of me with yellow pants. If you were to play DJ with black pants, I would play with you for 4 hours straight. But you gotta change your pant color. I'm not saying you're a terrible player. You made some excellent decision making. There was some excellent decision making made. There was some, when he went for the invincible reversal in between the hard kick frame trap, that was a beautiful decision at the highest level. That, in my opinion, it's very risky, but because it's so risky, it's almost never expected. And because of that unpredictability, especially if you don't use it often, unless you know for a fact it's going to hit, which in my opinion is not risky, it's effective. But that was a brilliant decision. I don't know if it worked out for him because it was just so laggy, because I legitimately, after the hard kick frame trap, I was like, wait a second, this guy is very aggressive. Let me just hang out for a second. Let me just make sure. And I made the right read. The problem is that after he goes into, you saw what I did. I tried to catch him with the unblockable. It worked. I told you guys when I was explaining that unblockable setup that even characters with amazing invincible reversals like DJ and Guile will get caught with the misdirection. That means after I catch him with the I try to catch him with the cross up. If they try to commit while I'm doing that after the invincible, I'm talking about the spray can setup after the enhanced drive meter air grab that I do with Kimberly after the hard punch Rekka combo. Quarter circle forward hard punch automatically launches them in the air. I jump after them with the super jump. I don't know if you have to super jump, but I think I super jump. It just makes it easier to guarantee that I land the enhanced drive meter air grab with Kimberly quarter circle forward 2 punch button. The reason why I super jump is because during that super jump motion, I'm actually doing the tiger knee motion. If you guys don't know, the original tiger knee motion was down forward to up forward with the kick button. Obviously, this move is with punch, but it makes no difference. The motion is the same. They call that the tiger knee motion because in the original, on the Street Fighter, early on, they had those motions. The original Tiger knee motion was down forward to up forward, and then you have to press the attack button, regardless of which one it is, depending on the situation. Before you, if you're already jumping in the air, to do the Tiger knee motion to get after you do that Tiger knee motion, it's going to register that you already did a down forward after you jump. So after you jump, all you have to do is press punch, and it automatically registers, like it's guaranteed automatic that because you did that Tiger knee motion, the game engine recognizes that you're doing the command, which is normally down forward in the air, but since I did down forward to up forward, I also jump and get the motion to the game engine to recognize that I did a down forward as well simultaneously. So once I'm in the air, all I have to do is press punch or two punch, and it automatically does the special move command grab in the air with Kimberly. Now, to do the unblockable setup, you have to do the drive meter variation of it, which costs meter, but after they land, I do the medium punch spray can. I dash forward after that. After I dash forward, I'm already holding up forward. After I dash, after I see that my character has already started dashing, I'm already holding up forward. Because when you're in that dashing animation, you can't jump by accident. As soon as you're able to jump, your character will jump in the direction that you want to jump. So since I'm holding up forward during the dash animation, my character's already going to go up forward as soon as he has the possibility, as soon as they have the possibility to do so. So I'm automatically at that range guaranteed to get a cross up. Or if I go for the light kick, which is also a cross up with Kimberly, I can actually do, I'm guaranteed, unless they parry. If they parry, you should go for the grab, obviously. If you see that they're trying to parry on wake up, you should do no jumping attack at all. Get the easy grab. Guarantee yourself the damage. But if you see, for example, you saw my opponent, he went for the invincible reversal, the drive meter reversal. What happens? He got caught with the misdirection, which I was teaching in a previous video, and he went in the completely opposite direction. My problem with that is I'm happy that he got caught with the misdirection. That's exactly what I wanted, because he has to respect that situation. If he does not respect that situation, the best thing he could do in that possible situation is parry, and I'm guaranteed to get a grab. If he does not parry, I'm guaranteed that I catch him in a extremely difficult situation because he can't do a normal attack because the spray can is about to pop and catch him and counter hit him. Even if he tries to crouching jab or crouching light kick or standing jab in that situation, the spray can is going to hit him even if he tries to go for it. So he can't do that. So he has to block it now. So now he's forced to block. If he's an intelligent player, he will either parry or try to block. Okay? Yeah. It's in the room by the bathroom on the floor. On the floor. So basically, he thought he had the game figured out. Now he evolved. Because of me, I helped him evolve as a player. Now when he sees a Kimberly player do that setup again on him, he has evolved as a player. Now he's probably going to parry instead or try to block and play really good defense. Okay? That situation is guaranteed damage, basically. Either that or you're gonna play some of the hardest defense that you've played in your life, especially if you're a joystick player. The reason I say that is because if I go for jumping light kick cross up instead of jumping hard kick, it actually gives me enough time to do Kimberly's overhead. And since they look identical, the jumping light kick and the jumping medium kick almost look identical in the air. One recovers way faster on block and on hit. The light kick version, obviously. But since the jumping attack is high, he has to block high. But since the spray can is about to pop and it's hitting low, he has to immediately block low. But since the mix there is that if I go for the jumping light kick instead of the jumping medium kick cross up, which she can do both, she can do a cross up with both. If you guys don't know what cross up is, that means when you do a jumping medium kick, usually a jumping medium kick or a jumping light kick behind your opponent's defense. That means you jumped behind your opponent and caught him with a jumping attack. It only works well, in previous games, there was weird gimmicks like Balrog could do cross up with like jumping hard kick, which was very bizarre because it was very difficult to even believe that it was going to work. And that's why it worked so good. And in fact, I don't even agree with that. I'm glad they changed it. In my opinion, they should just give characters like Balrog that normally only have all punches in the air, just give them a jump kick and make everything so much easier for us, man. You know what I mean? It just makes everything make more sense and make it easier. After that jumping light kick, if they block it, they have to block low for the spray can. I have enough time to do the hard kick overhead. After that, they can't do anything about it. Because of that misdirection, they can't do a drive meter invincible reversal. Because there's just too many variables, there's too many factors at play that are holding them back for that. There's the misdirection, there's the pressure from the spray can. An intelligent player is either going to parry or block defensively. Okay? If they try to parry, if you see that they wake up during that situation and try to parry, immediately go for a grab. Otherwise, they'll be able to drive reversal you or drive push block. I don't know what it's called. When not push block. When they push you away with the drive meter advanced guard. I don't know what it's called in this game. But that's the point I'm trying to make. The issue that I have with it is that I was happy that the misdirection happened. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay? As a high-level player, I wanted him to believe that he could catch me with an invincible reversal. In that particular situation, it's impossible for him to do it without getting counter hit. Okay? In that particular situation, if they do not change anything in the game at all, I believe the only option available is to do the hard kick run, quarter circle forward, hard kick with Kimberly, or medium kick with Kimberly and get the easy counter hit after they miss. Because I don't think you have enough time to drive rush in and get a combo. You might, I believe you could even drive rush in and get a hard punch combo, which is probably going to do way more damage than that. Because you also get the hard punch as well. But I wish, not wish, but like I kind of do wish that during that misdirection anti-air that Guile and DJ have, I wish they didn't get pushed so far away. I wish they did not travel so far away. I feel like DJ particularly and Guile particularly do not have to travel so far horizontally during an anti-air. In fact, it should only be a true vertical anti-air. The reason I say that is because they already kind of dominate with their zoning, which is already horizontal domination. Why give them an anti-air that also, you get what I'm saying? You understand what I mean by that. Like, as a developer, you should be able to understand why I say that. Keep them in the air longer. Don't push them so far away. Make it easier to counter hit them when they make a mistake. That's a prime example of a situation that I feel is not the way I personally would have it if I was a developer. But obviously, I'll never be brilliant enough to actually learn how to develop a game. I say that jokingly, but I probably am not brilliant enough. You know what I'm saying? I say that more jokingly than anything else, but I'm going to end the video there. I appreciate if you've been watching my channel at all. I really do appreciate that. I know there's not too many people that tune in, but don't feel bad. I'm a long-time player. You should be losing to me. Don't feel bad. If you are beating me, well, I'm a little rusty right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not as good as I actually should be right now. So you should be actually beating me right now. And the fact that I turned it around on the JP player pretty convincingly and the DJ player pretty convincingly, even though I could barely see his kicks and all his special moves that he was doing on the screen, shows how good I am. I don't just play the game. I try to understand my opponent, and I try to understand their weakness and their strength. I try to understand what their game plan is against me. What frame traps are they using? Are they using frame traps at all? You know, those are questions that you should be asking yourself. If they're constantly trying to hit you with frame traps, you need to respect it. Don't play so reckless and try to drive meter it. Stand your ground, try to break the grab if they go for a grab, because that's the best offense that they could possibly get in that particular situation. If you try to neutral jump, or if you try to cross up and in the corner, I kind of do recommend going for a cross up, because worst case scenario, you get hit with an anti-air, but at least you're out of the corner now. And now you also have the possibility of putting your opponent in a sticky situation in the corner. But most good players don't allow you to do that anyway in the corner. They play it extremely safe in the corner because they want to keep you there. They don't want you jumping out of anything. They're probably going to try to frame trap you. They're probably going to try to set you up with a spray can like I do all the time. You saw how many times I caught the JP player with the spray can setup. In my opinion, the spray can invincibility should beat whatever invincibility JP is doing on wake up that counters my crouching light kick pressure, because it's just not fair. Because in my opinion, it's so difficult and so situational for Kimberly to set that situation up in the first place. And also, I was not using a lot of Kimberly's other amazing frame traps. Like, in my opinion, another high level tip that I have for Street Fighter is if you see your opponent on block do a standing hard punch or a crouching hard punch, respect what they do after it. Because that is also for a lot of, I don't know if it's for every single character in the game, but as far as I'm concerned, I believe almost every character has it and has some weird, bizarre frame trap that they can do with it. So like for Kimberly, for example, for Kimberly, for example, I believe Ken has one of the weaker ones where it's like you don't really have to worry about it too much. I've always been convinced that I could do crouching hard punch close range on block and frame trap it with a crouching jab. I've been convinced ever since the third strike era of Street Fighter that that's an actual real thing. I'm not 100% positive on that, but I believe with all my heart that that is true, and I still do it to this very day with standing jab, crouching jab after it. For example, C Viper has it with standing hard punch into the ground pound. That's a true frame trap that you have to respect, unless I believe you do. I believe you can do an invincible reversal if she does commit for ground pound, but you have to understand your opponent and reactions good enough that you know when to go for it, because he can do like standing hard punch. I believe C Viper could do standing hard punch and then super jump cancel away, right? Super jump cancel away from his opponent. And if you try to do an invincible reversal, I believe you will miss if they go for the super jump after that, right? Am I not right? Am I right about that? Does she still have that? I know in Street Fighter 4 she had that she could super jump cancel like normal attacks, and it made it very difficult, like especially in Street Fighter 4. I felt like and even now it's really good. But Kimberly, for example, standing hard punch into her run has to be respected. Obviously, we're talking about a situation where the hard punch actually lands. I'm not talking about your opponent is getting up off the ground during wake up animation, getting up off the grounds. I'm not talking about just recklessly throwing a hard punch in that situation. I'm talking about knowing that your opponent probably in this situation cannot do anything about a standing hard punch. They have to respect the run after that. And also the crouching hard punch into the EX drive meter run, which frame traps into the crouching light. I've been caught by that. You know what I'm saying? I only got caught with that, there was one game where I just gave up. I was just like, you know what I mean? I don't agree with that though. I personally don't agree with a player being able to do that. Those are one of those frame traps that I don't believe should be in the game. I believe a player should be good enough to correctly land a standing hard punch into the run correctly. I would remove that entirely. I think that's just too good. I think that's just too good for Kimberly, to be honest. And the crouching hard punch one is too good as well. You know what I'm saying? It should not be in the game. Of course, if it's in the game, I'm going to use it. It gives her like probably the most, I feel like she has probably more frame traps than every other character in the game. Especially if you consider the fact that the spray can is like a huge factor in certain situations. But I'm gonna end the video there, man. You know, like I said, if you're listening, don't take offense to what I'm saying. I just want to say what I feel about the particular situation. The DJ player is not a bad player. He obviously understands how to play Street Fighter. He obviously tried to anti-air me in a situation where it may seem a little bit reckless, but guess what? If it pays off, it pays off. And it counts as a counter hit anti-air invincible reversal, which does even more damage than the regular one. So believe it or not, in that particular situation, I don't know if it worked out for him because I did do a frame trap on him, but I think it only allowed him to do it because DJ and Guile's invincible reversal are just too damn good. And they're too easy to do, and they're too good for how easy they are to do. But as you see, I caught him in a situation where I wish he would have stayed closer, but I just got to work on that particular matchup a little bit more where when he's out of the way, I got to probably drive rush instead. If I drive rush, I'll probably get there in time. If I do the hard kick run with Kimberly, I'll probably get there in time and counter hit him. You know, I just, in the heat of the moment, I thought he was good enough to know that that situation was real and he should respect it. But I guess he has never seen that situation before. But it is a true unblockable, but you can parry it. That is the only weakness to it. But to parry it, you have to commit to parry. Otherwise, you get caught in it. And if you commit to parry, you will get caught with an easy grab. And do not sleep on the grab. Grab is equal to damage. And in high-level fighting games, you want to be damaging your opponent. That is the objective. So if they give you a grab, you take the grab. If they parry, you take the grab. You know what I'm saying? If they like to press buttons, you frame trap them and counter hit them. Usually it's a crouching jab or a standing jab in that situation. Usually the frame trap, normal attack, or special move is so close to your opponent that you could do a crouching jab or a standing jab that counter hits them if they press a button. If they don't press a button, you're still within grab range, but they can crouching light kick you before you grab them. But if you do absolutely nothing after the frame trap and they don't press a button, they can't do anything. You can grab them before their normal attack actually becomes active and hits your opponent and hits their opponent. So if I frame trap my opponent and he tries to counter hit me, you could counter hit them, and I believe the entire situation revolves around counter hitting your opponent if they try to press buttons and grabbing them if they don't. If they try to neutral jump them, a lot of players like to neutral jump in that situation. In my opinion, the only time I prefer to jump towards my opponent if I'm in the corner. In a frame trap, I'm talking about in a frame trap situation. I'm not just talking about recklessly jumping in the air. You know, I'm talking about if they're the type of player that likes to go for grabs a lot, I'll probably jump in the air towards them, risk probably getting hit with an anti-air. But in my opinion, I prefer just trying to break the grab and trying to, you know, parry is probably the best option for drive impact. But in my opinion, I feel like it has gotten way better than before. Parrying your opponent's special moves and drive impact feels like it's way better than it was before. And I really appreciate if the developers did go back into the game and programmed it and tweaked it. I really do appreciate that because I knew that was only going to make the game better. As you saw, I was playing against the E Honda player that was just recklessly trying to do booty drops. When I did parry it, I was able to get the counter hit medium punch, which means after the counter hit medium punch, you can usually hit them with the attack that's higher than that. So if you hit him with a counter hit medium punch, you can hit him with a hard punch after that. If you hit him with a counter hit jab or crouching jab or crouching light kick, you can hit him with a medium punch or medium kick after that. You can usually, if it's not a counter hit, you have to keep the combo within like jab to jab or crouching light kick to jab. That's light. Those are light attacks. The light attacks, other than counter hit, only combo within themselves. So you could do, like, for example, crouching light kick, crouching jab. Or crouching light, I like to do crouching light kick, crouching jab. Or you could do jab, jab, jab. Crouching or standing if you're close enough to your opponent. But if you counter hit them, you're going to want to skip doing a jab again and go right to medium punch, medium kick. Because you're going to get way more damage and way more combo possibilities because of that. Like for example, like I was saying with Ken before, if I counter hit my opponent with crouching jab in a frame during a frame trap, I could do standing medium punch, standing hard punch after that. Then I could do the run cancel into Dragon Lash, which gives me the ability to do a hard punch uppercut after that, hard punch, dragon punch, or I could do level 3 super, I could do level 1 super, I could do level 2 super. You know, I could probably even do some, I believe that's where it's restricted to. I don't think you could drive rush after that, but that's a lot of damage considering the fact that you just did a jab, counter hit into a medium punch, target combo into run into Dragon Lash. That's a lot of damage off of a counter hit jab, but I think that's what makes the game better. Because, like, for example, he kept trying to booty drop me, I parried it, and when I did the standing medium punch, it counter hit them, I was able to get a hard punch after that. And if you guys don't know, after a hard punch Rekka combo with Kimberly, that does like easily 30%, maybe even more, depending on how much meter you use. If you use a level 3 super, I could damn near get 50%, 40%, maybe even more, 44%, 45%, 43%, whatever the hell it may be, don't care. So those are just, as a long-time high-level player, I'm just trying to share the knowledge that I've learned from playing the game and from experience. I practice the character. They have the tutorials and everything, but the tutorials are not enough. You need real life, like, practice against a good player, and that's the only way you'll ever get better. Like, Sonic Fox has always been a dominant Mortal Kombat player. Now he's branching over to all these other fighting games, but guess what? It was his knowledge of Mortal Kombat that was able to build that foundation that he was able to take into Street Fighter and bring all the way to, Dragon Ball FighterZ and other games, because it has a similar concept. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm sure he played just like me and every other high-level player out there. We ran into players that were just better than us and knew the game better than us and just knew how to, they were probably friends with the developers and they knew all about frame traps and they were even dominating guys like Alex Valle, that thought he knew everything at the time, and then he plays a guy like Mike Watson that probably was friends with the developers at Capcom USA that were like, look, this is his frame trap, there's nothing he could do about it, he can't uppercut, if you could counter hit him with jab or with your own crouching medium kick after that, he's always gonna get counter hit no matter how hard he tries. He probably didn't know about it at the time. You get what I'm saying? It happens to the best of us. These are all amazing players, and it happens to the best of us. We all had to grind on our way to the top. You know what I'm saying? So, don't get discouraged. Just keep practicing and keep trying to win. Trying to play and get better. I probably will start playing more frequently, but like I said, I'm just playing very casual. Unless my situation, does get better. You know what I'm saying? Which I believe it will 100%. You know what I'm saying? I can't change the circumstances that I had to go through. You know what I'm saying? That's just part of what happened in my life. But, you know what I'm saying? That's the end of it.
Broadcast.
I'm gonna end the video there. I apologize to the YouTube You know, people that design the websites, they're very talented. They're very brilliant. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate them letting me post on their website. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, I just try to help people out, you know? That's all I try to do, you know, because it's unfortunate that we live in a reality that people misuse their power and their abilities, you know, for the wrong reasons, you know what I'm saying? And nothing is done about it because, you know, they might be above the law, or they feel they're above the law, or, you know, they feel that they have the power to do so. That's the kind of world we live in, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's all it is. Some people are in love with the power. Some people are in love with, you know, that's all it is. So, but like I said, I will be playing casually with you guys more often. I probably do want to get a smaller monitor so I don't have to be moving my head so much when I play with you guys. Hopefully it's an OLED. You know, 200. I think PlayStation goes up to 120, even though realistically, I don't think Street Fighter even puts it past like maybe 10 frames per second. I don't even think a computer can handle anything more than that, to be honest. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna end the video there.
Broadcast 9:12.
Yeah. And another thing. It really does.
New notification.
Another thing I gotta say, hold up, before I finish. Another thing that really gets to me is that like these PC gamers and stuff, they think like they're so elite and stuff because they're like, oh, I get 240 frames per second and you only get like 60. So like I have way more possibilities than you do to win. Bro, even if you could pump out 240 frames per second, which I honestly don't believe is possible, unless you have like 60 graphic cards all connected all at once, with like a real enormous supercomputer. Even if you could get that, guess what? The developers that program the game and develop the game still limit the game's frames of animation to a certain amount, no matter how good your graphic card is. So realistically, it doesn't matter if you play on a PlayStation, a Nintendo Switch, Xbox, a gaming PC that has 500 hertz gaming PC with you know, that's pushing 500 hertz at 720p, and you have an OLED monitor that's capable of reaching 500 hertz and 240 hertz, and it's an OLED. Oh my God, lucky you! Oh my God, you're so fortunate and so lucky. But guess what? It doesn't matter. And you spent all that money for nothing because the developers that program the game ultimately are the gatekeepers, and they truly decide what the game is maxed out at and how many frames are allowed at any particular moment. So I would imagine the fastest moves in the game being crouching light kick in Street Fighter and also in Mortal Kombat. I would imagine that if two players were to both do crouching light kick at the same time, that is the maximum amount of frames that you could possibly get in 1 second. I'm talking about in 1 second. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe two Ken players both doing hard kick dragon lash at the same exact time. I think you're probably only going to get the maximum amount of frames per second during a weird, bizarre moment that realistically, at the highest level, will never happen. And for all you new Ken players that think you're going to dominate at the highest level because you know how to do crouching jab or standing jab into his Jinrai kicks, or jab and grab and just dominate and make it all the way to the top, you are greatly mistaken. When you play offline, you probably already knew that because you ran into a guy like me when there was no lag and I wiped my ass with you. Because you thought you were dope, and I'm actually dope. I'm actually amazing. Dope is actually, believe it or not, I don't know why dope became a word for something good when it actually means something bad. But I'm gonna end it there. Like I said, I'm gonna end the video there. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll try to stream as much as I can. But like I said, I really do need a smaller monitor because playing fighting games on a 42-inch UHD, because I'm playing on an LG UHD. I love this TV. For the price point, I only paid $200 for it. Street Fighter 6 looks beautiful on it. Even though it's a UHD, it's probably the cheaper of all the televisions you could buy when it comes to screen resolution. But like I said, I got more important things to do to waste my money on. And like I said, I will be playing with you guys. Hopefully the channel grows. Like I said, I don't have any control over the channel, but I will try to, you know, I'll do my best. You know, I know my rights as a citizen. You guys taught me these rights, and you know, I refuse for people to pretend and act like, oh my God, he must be crazy. Oh my God, wow, he's really crazy. We must do something about this. Oh my God. It's like, bro, they need to do something about you. You're the one that's in love with the power trip and lying blatantly to people's faces. You're the one pretending that things are not real when they are. You're the problem in society. You're who they need to drag away and put in a straitjacket. That way we can enjoy life to the maximum. It's nonsense like that that holds society from being the pinnacle of what it actually could be. And it's a shame that I have to say it like that. Because society would be way better if people treated it as if it was, because it is. And you wouldn't believe it all day, every day. You know what I mean? Oh my God, acting like I'm Bin Laden all of a sudden. Oh my God. Is he masturbating? Oh my God. Oh my God, he's the criminal of the year. What a wicked man. He decided to play with his penis right now. Oh my God. How horrible of a man he is. Okay, guys, I'm done. I'm going to end the video there. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Broadcast. Pause broadcast.